a sun high in the sky. Who would hide from heaven's glory? Who would pass the challenge by? La 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 la. La 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 la.
There's a morning for every nation when the sun's high in the sky. There's a time for every people to affirm their destiny. La 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 la. Even so, all of us together can create a better land. Leave the past, a new tomorrow waits for all who understand. There's a morning for every nation when the sun's high in the sky. There's a time for every people to affirm their destiny. La 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 la. Even so, all of us together can create a better land. Leave the past, a new tomorrow waits for all who understand. La 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 la. Leave the past, a new tomorrow waits for all who understand.
Life is a dream, time like a stream carries our burdens away. Never despair, joys everywhere. Love can befriend you today. Free from all care, like birds on the air, soar above griefs and worries, seek joy and be gay.
Often on earth, things of great worth, worldly ambitions defy. Sometimes a friend helps us ascend up from life's cares to the sky. Love is a star, though shining afar. It can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh. Life is a dream, time like a stream carries our burdens away. Never despair, joys everywhere. Love can befriend you today. Free from all care, like birds on the air, soar above griefs and worries, seek joy and be gay. Often on earth, things of great worth, worldly ambitions defy. Sometimes a friend helps us ascend up from life's cares to the sky. Love is a star, though shining afar. It can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh. Love is a star, though shining afar. It can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh.
The following reading is from the book Rays of the One Light, which are parallel commentaries on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita. Today's reading is entitled, We are Children of the Light. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. It is common for people to perceive themselves according to their present realities. A person in ill health says, I am ill. Few say, I am well. It is my body that is suffering. People in a low income bracket say, I am poor. Only the unusual person will say, though outwardly I live in poverty, inwardly I am wealthy. Thus, when it comes to moral and spiritual development, people commonly identify themselves with their weaknesses and their mistakes. They consider it almost a sign of humility to say, I am a sinner, though, in effect, what this means is that they identify themselves with their sinfulness, not with the soul's power to transcend all limitations in God. The great masters, including Jesus Christ, have always emphasized the divine potential of mankind. To encourage us, they address us as children of light, not of darkness. The Bible in the Gospel of St. John, chapter 3, makes the point that our true home is not the mud of this earth, but the light of heaven. No man hath ascended up to heaven, it tells us, but him that came down from heaven. This passage continues, even so, the Son of Man who is in heaven, emphasizing that Jesus, though he lived on earth, is perceived by the eye of wisdom as conscious, even in human form, of his true reality in heavenly spheres. The way to know God is to live in godly consciousness and not to bewail our imperfection and our distance from God. Jesus said, Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And the Bhagavad Gita states, Seekers of union with the Lord find him dwelling in their own hearts. But those who, lacking in wisdom, seek him with impure motives cannot perceive him, however much they struggle to do so. If you want to know God, Paramahansa Yogananda said, live in the thought that you have him already. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om, Om, Om. And we have one more reading. This is from Whispers from Eternity, prayer poems by Paramahansa Yogananda ji. This is entitled, Teach me to drown in thy light and live. I came to thee with the song of my smiles. Whatever treasures have lain in the secrecy of my soul, I bring eagerly to thee. I bring thee all the honey from the hive of my heart. All that was ever mine is now thine alone. The sunlight of this world, shining upon my eager hopes and brief, fickle fulfillments, burned me repeatedly with dissatisfaction. Now I will quench my thirst forever in thy radiant waters. The taper of my aspiration toward happiness will burst aflame with thy coming into a conflagration of bliss. In thy vast, enchanting sea of light, I will swim joyfully forever. Teach me to drown in thee and live, rather than live in a mirage paradise of earthliness and die.
Wow, we're having more people. This is good. Okay. Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you. That's good. Good morning, friends. Good morning. It's wonderful to be here, and I hope I can come more often. I feel very at home here. I have many new friends, many old-time friends,
And it's just a joy to be here with Nayaswami's Dharmini and Dharmrajan and all of you. So welcome, welcome, and thank you for giving me such a warm welcome coming here too. Today's topic is We Are Children of the Light. And I found a few brief passages from autobiography about the light that I'd like to start with today. This first one is when Master had Asiatic cholera. And these are just very brief quotes. He says, "I gazed at the photograph of Lahiri Mahashaya and saw there a blinding light, enveloping my body and the entire room. I was well." The Master's mother says to Lahiri Mahashaya, "Oh, omnipresent Master, I thank thee that thy light hath healed my son." And then Master, when he was a boy, he had this thought and this vision. What is behind the darkness of closed eyes? This probing thought came powerfully into my mind. An immense flash of light at once manifested to my inward gaze, divine shapes of saints sitting in meditation posture in mountain caves formed like miniature cinema pictures on the large screen of radiance within my forehead. "Who are you?" I spoke aloud. "We are the Himalayan yogis." The celestial response is difficult to describe, but my heart was thrilled. The vision vanished, but the silvery beams expanded in ever-widening circles to infinity. What is this wondrous glow? I am Ishvara. I am light. The voice was as murmuring clouds. And this is when Lahiri Mahashaya raised Rama from the dead. I saw Lahiri Mahashaya in a blaze of light, Rama cried. He shone like the sun. Arise, forsake your sleep, he commanded me. Come with your Teshwar to see me. That's quite a vision. And finally, Master in Bombay, this is the resurrection of Sri Yukteswar. Still, just brief. Lord Krishna, the glorious form of the avatar, appeared in a shimmering blaze as I sat in my room at the Regent Hotel in Bombay. Shining over the roof of a high building across the street, the ineffable vision had suddenly burst on my sight as I gazed out of my long open third-story window. Sitting on my bed in the Bombay Hotel at 3:00 in the afternoon of June 19th, 1936, 1 week after the vision of Krishna, I was roused from my meditation by a beatific light. Before my open and astonished eyes, the whole room was transformed into a strange world. The sunlight transmuted into supernal splendor. Waves of rapture engulfed me as I beheld the flesh and blood form of Sri Yukteswar. The masters come as light, they come in the light, and they come to remind us that we come from the same light, that we have the same light as they have, but we have to increase the light. As it says in the Festival of Light, O children of light, forsake the darkness. Know that forever you and he are one. And our path is to help us remember. It's to remind us that we are light. Master would look out at his disciples at different times and say, I see you all as light. You don't know how beautiful you are, and everything I see as shimmering light. And our beautiful chants, I awake in thy light. I am joyful, I am free. It's not, I'm joyful, free. I'm joyful, I'm free. I awake in thy light. So wonderful. And Master would sometimes go to the movie theater. Not often, but he'd go to just have a diversion. And he was in the movie with his eyes closed. Can you imagine? And the disciples would come. They would be next to him. They'd tap him, and they would say, Guruji, are you watching the movie? And he said, yes, I'm watching the big movie. He was seeing the light of God. And he would give the example of the movie house and the projection of the light onto the screen, creating the movie. And he would tell the disciples, look at the beam. Look at the beam. That's projecting the whole movie. And Master said in one talk I heard him, he said, Divine Mother, the audience doesn't know they're shrieking and howling in the theater because of the movie. It's become a nightmare. And Divine Mother said, tell them to look to my beam within. So beautiful. Here we're looking at the horror show. We should be looking at the beam within. And Master had a vision once where he said he was practicing Kriya Yoga in his 4-Gar Road home. And suddenly, he said he was translated into it. He was transported into the body of a captain of a ship. And he was ordering his sailors to do certain things. And he said, suddenly I was shot, and I had a bullet in my heart, and the blood began to flow. And I thought, oh, this is death that I didn't know. I guess I am dead. And then he said suddenly he was back on his bed, meditating, doing Kriya Yoga at 4-Gar Road. And he says, oh, how nice, I'm not dead. And then suddenly he's back in the body of the captain of the ship and lying down dead. And he said, oh, I guess I'm dead. Then he's back in this body, meditating, doing Kriya Yoga. Have you ever felt that? Sitting in his room in 4-Gar Road. He says, how nice, I'm not dead. And then he said, I was confused. And at that moment, I saw a great light. And I asked that light, Sire, light, am I here sitting on my bed at 4-Gar Road, meditating, doing Kriya Yoga? Or am I dead on the battlefield? And the light said, neither! I love it, neither! You're not sitting meditating on your bed, and you're not dead on the battlefield. You are the light that's created the whole show. We have to remember, neither. You're not this and you're not that. And he said, my delusion fled. So beautiful. My delusion fled. That day will come for each one of us. And he said, and I became that great light. What a beautiful image that he gave. And everything that we practice is showing us the light. The golden ring, this beautiful spiritual eye here. Its master said the golden ring becomes a tunnel of gold. And you start moving through that tunnel of light. The Kutasa Chaitanya, the spiritual eye, the third eye. We look here. We bless people here. When you come for the blessing today, it's not your toe, it's your spiritual eye, isn't it? The Kriya blessing is here, and many of our blessings are here at the spiritual eye. Why? It's not just, oh, that feels nice. No, it's to awaken the light within us. It's to awaken the spiritual eye. And that golden ring becomes a tunnel of gold. In the middle of the gold is an ocean of blue light. You go into the ocean. It's a beautiful, you begin to go there. People have near-death experiences. They talk about the light. They talk about going through a tunnel, isn't it? They talk about seeing a light at the tunnel. They hear sounds. Those are likely the chakra sounds, isn't it? Unless they're going elsewhere. We don't know. But he said at the end, in the middle of that blue is a silvery white star. It's wonderful. And this is where we're headed. We're not headed out on the street and my job. And I love what Swamiji said, Kriyanandaji said, everything else except seeking God, finding God, everything else is fillers. Isn't it? It's fillers. You're filling up your life with these things. The most important thing is that we try to uplift ourselves, become self-realized by going into the light. And so Master gave Kriya. If you don't have Kriya, I would talk with the Acharyas here, the Nayaswamis, and get it. Start practicing, improve yourself, uplift your consciousness. As you practice, Master said, he was sitting there on the bed, he was doing Kriya. He didn't say I was sleeping. He said, I was doing Kriya. Then I had a vision. Learn Kriya Yoga. It focuses on the light. As you practice more and more, you start to feel, yes, it's true. Your eyes change. Your voice changes. Your face changes. Your aura changes. Remember, Master said he was with this friend Dijen going to meet Swami Sri Yukteswarji, their guru, at the train station. And you know the story. But anyway, most of you. But read it if you haven't. If you haven't read Autobiography of a Yogi, buy it, read it. You'll love it. So there they were, and Master, it was the second time they had gone to see meet their guru at the train. The first time he wasn't there. Master goes out, he says, my guru's aura is filling the whole train. Isn't that wonderful? Your aura changes. You protect it. You're in the protection of the gurus. As you practice Kriya, as you practice Om technique, we look at the light. We hear the inner sounds. We go into I am Om, omnipresent, all-pervading, all-blessed. That's who I am. That's why I wanted to play that chant. When we do the Hong Sa, we uplift ourselves, energization, everything. And we're always looking for the light in every practice. Isn't it? Master, when he would energize, he didn't have to move. He just looked there. He was energized. Isn't it? We want to get to that point. Why do you have to move all the time, If you really were strong enough, the conscious cosmic energy just flow into you. You don't have to move around. And so everything Master gave us, see the light, go into the light. And we have the choice. We go there or not. I love the statement he said, if you go into darkness, you're living in a self-created darkness, meaning you don't have to. The masters have given so much. He said self-created. There was a boy who was at the ashram with Master, and he got his thumb, I think it was his thumb. Was his thumb? He got in an accident, his thumb got cut off there. Master said there was a dark cloud around you when that happened. You don't want that dark cloud. If you practice, you come here, you come to the satsangs, you do the practices. You chant the chants, you read the books, you hear the music. You don't have a dark cloud. There's a cloud of light. Angels are following you. The masters say, come on, let's go have a nice day. You have to choose. And there was one story Master used to tell of a village where there was a demon. And the demon was harassing and killing people. So this holy man was asked to come and help to get rid of the demon. So he came and he did something. And he told the demon, I'm in charge of this village and leave the people alone. And so then he said, okay. So then a few more people died. so the holy man said to the demon, I told you, leave these people alone. They're under my protection. He said, listen, the first few I killed, but the rest of them died from fear. It's the truth. You get into that yourself, fear, worry, I can't do it, oh no, I'm not going to practice, I'll just hide under the covers. It just doesn't work. You have to put yourself in the light. And Master showed the disciples how to see the light. He had one disciple, I told this to some of you yesterday, Dr. Lewis, he was skeptical. He was a Boston East Coast dentist. And he came to Yoganandaji, and he was his first disciple. He didn't call them his disciples. They're Divine Mother's disciples, God's disciples. But he came, and he asked Yoganandaji, he had the Bible, and he said, it says here, a beautiful quote, if thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light. We should remember that. Put it on your altar. If I can just focus here, my whole body will be filled with light. And he looked at Yoganandaji and he said, and Master was, this was in the 20s. Very rare to have an Indian yogi there at that time. And so there was Master, long hair, brown skin, robes, and he was completely confident. And Dr. Lewis says, well, I've asked many preacher, what they call it, maybe they call it here too, but America's a preacher. I've asked many a preacher in the church what this means, and nobody knows. I can say that too. I grew up in a Baptist church, and I learned about the teachings of Jesus from them, isn't it? I didn't learn from that church. So he said, do you know what this means? And Master said, I think so. Of course he knew what it meant. And then he said, have you seen this light that he's talking about here? Master said, I think so. And then he said, can you show it to me? You can imagine. The man was looking for years trying to get somebody to help him. And he said, can you show it to me? And Master said, I think so. Nobody else had ever been able, not even just show it, to talk about it. You come to yoga, to a great master, they live there. They can guide you there. So he sat Dr. Lewis down on the floor, cross-legged. And believe me, nobody was really sitting cross-legged in America in those days. Dr. Lewis says, for sure, you can know I was not in the full lotus. Are you in the full lotus there? Well, I was not in the full lotus. But he tried his best. And he sat there, and Yoganandaji sat in front of him, looking at him, and he asked him a question first. Will you love me always as I will love you? Wow, can you imagine that? Most people couldn't take it. They couldn't take the love. Dr. Lewis said, I could feel the love. So I said yes. So Master went, good. Because he knew who this man was, his disciple. He said, now I can take charge of your life. And he brings his forehead. This is I love. He didn't get the holy books out and start preaching. Hey, this is what it says here. He didn't bring out one book. He brought his forehead, the doctor's forehead, he showed him the light. Dr. Lewis was overwhelmed. And after that, he showed him the light of the seventh chakra, the Saraswata chakra. He said the lights were just bubbling. I could see the bubbling lights in my own self. Isn't that beautiful? It's in our own self. But nobody has time. No, I'm busy. I don't have time. I'm busy. You get busy there, and you really be busy. And so then he left and went, and as I said yesterday, it was Christmas Eve, and his wife was waiting. It was like Diwali. His wife was waiting for him to decorate the tree, and Dr. Lewis was really late. She either had a rolling pin or a frying pan, or she's like at the door waiting to just knock him over the head. And he comes in, and he's just in a blissful, ecstatic state. He's seen the spiritual eye. He's met his guru. And she said, okay, come on, tell me what happened. And of course, she becomes a disciple as well. The masters give us the experience of light. You have to know it. You can try all you want by yourself. We need to do our part, but they give the experience of light. And finally, Master's sisters came to him, and when he came back in 1935 to India, and they said, please show us something so that we can believe in God like you do. And he said, no, I'm not gonna do it. He didn't want to do it just for show. And they said, please show us something. And so finally, Master says, okay. There was several people in the room. He had all those people leave. And this is in Hare Krishna Ghosh's Master's nephew's book. So in a book with this story in it. So then he says, everybody go out of the room. And Hare Krishna Ghosh was going out. I think he was 15 at the time or something. And so Master says, no, Hare Krishna, you come back in, shut the door, and turn off the light. And imagine this 15-year-old. And so Master's sisters were sitting in front of him, and Master and Hare Krishna Ghosh, the boy, were sitting across. And the way Hare Krishna describes it, Master uttered some mantra or something, and he said, I didn't know what was going on. But then suddenly, my mother's and my aunt's faces were just full of light. And then after a while, Master said, Hare Krishna, turn on the light and open the door. And Hare Krishna looked at his mother, and they couldn't talk. He said, Mother, what did you see? She couldn't even talk. So then later, Master said, I've shown your mother and your aunt Bhagavan Jyoti. Wow. So beautiful. And as Doctor said, once Master showed it to me, that light, it never left. We don't know what we have. We are children of the light. We are part of the light. We just have to go more and more into that light. And who takes us there? If you want to go, take their hand and let's walk into the light. I have to tell, I know some of you were there yesterday, but I just feel I have to tell the rest of you, if I can get through the story of this wonderful dream I had of Yoganandaji's. They're very rare, at least for me. But it was at the end of life, and we were all together. Only person I recognized was Swami Kriyanandaji. He was standing right there, and these were like everybody who had studied with him. And we had finished our lifetime. We'd gone through many tests, ups and downs, but we were done. Some people were just barely making it, but other people were still happy. But we were finished. We knew we were done. Our karma was done. We were waiting for the Guru, Master, to come to take us. And I'll never forget the doors flew open. It was double doors. And he comes in, just like you've seen the short videos of Guruji. His hair was flying, and he was marching in there, and there were several other people I didn't recognize, and he came in, and he was just like happy. He was like going to people and putting his hands on their head or blessing them, or he was touching people. He was trying to reach as many people. There was hundreds, maybe thousands of people. He kept trying to reach out and touch people, and he was so happy about everybody's progress. There was nothing like, you didn't meditate. I didn't see you at the satsang. Did you do the Om technique? How about energization? I saw you were cheating. You know, there was none of that. He was like, you made it. You made it. You did it. And he was going to give you 75% anyway. 25%. That's like what we have to do. Master 25, Divine Mother 50. He was ready to pay up. It's just 75%. And then suddenly, he just left in the light. And the most wonderful part was we went with him. And I thought, I waited for this my whole life. You wait. He's taken us there. You just have to keep going into the light of God. The masters will be there and pull you the rest of the way through. God bless you all. Let's meditate a few minutes now.